Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh. Wa na'udzu billahi min syururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudhillalah wa man yudlilhu fala hadiyalah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarika lah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Rabbi syrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli, amma ba'd. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, all praise be to Allah. We praise Him, we ask for His help, we ask for His forgiveness, we seek refuge with Allah from the weakness of ourselves and from the badness of our deeds. Whoever been given by Allah guidance, then nobody can be a guider for him. Whoever been misguided by Allah, then nobody can be a guider for him. I bear witness, there's no God worthy to be worshipped except Allah. Only Him, no associate for Him. And I bear witness that Muhammad is messenger and servant. O Allah, give good prayers upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad. And we give good prayers upon Abraham and the family of Abraham. O Allah, bless upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad. You bless upon Abraham and the family of Abraham. Verily, you are most worthy of praises and most noble. Today, inshallah, we'll continue with our topic. That is 50 Quranic rules on life, on soul and life. Last week, Alhamdulillah, we finished the 18th rule. That is, wala yahikul makru sayyu illa bi ahli. And the evil conspiracy or plan would not be upon, except upon those who doing it. So Alhamdulillah, we read about that, and we explain that whoever do the bad conspiracy upon others, then Allah Ta'ala will make it return to them. From the story of the Qur'an, there's many story about that. Alhamdulillah, what we read about the Pharaoh, we read about those who doing to the Prophet, peace be upon him. All of that is actually to show that Allah Ta'ala is always yumhil, means that He give time. Wala yuhmil, but He never ever throw it away. Anything that being done by anybody will be in the question by Allah. Today, inshallah, we go into the 19th rule, number 19, the rule, Qā'idah tasi'atu ashar, the 19th rule, the saying of Allah, walakum fil qisasi hayatun, walakum fil qisasi hayatun, and for you in the legal retribution there is life. To understand retribution means that to retribute or to do whatever harm being done by others to you, you can return it back, but only by legal, that is actually being done by the court of justice. It is not being done by you yourself or your family in killing, in any harm being done to you. You must take it to the court. It's not for you to do it by yourself. There's differences. Whatever happened when you are actually defending yourself, somebody is actually attacking you. You defend yourself. Anything happen at that time, that will not be inside the court of law. If proven that you are really protecting yourself, defending yourself. But in the other side, if ever you harm others or kill others just because the person provoke you, then this type of killing in Islam is not permissible. Then and the killer will be killed by the law. By law, the killer must be killed. The killer that kill other without any reason, or just because the other person provoke him, then he can be killed by the order of the court of the law, the court of the law. So he said here, walakum fil qisasi hayatun, and for you, for all of you, in the legal retribution, there is life. There is life. He said here, hadhihi qa'idatun min al-qawā'id al-muhkamati fi abwab at-ta'amuli bainal khalqi. This is one of the rule from among the fixed rule in the topic of affairs between the creatures, between the servant of Allah. Alladhina la takhlu hayatu kathirin minhum min baghyin wa udwanin. That the life that the human being is living never ever silent or never ever quiet from oppression and transgression. Meaning somebody will oppress you, or somebody will always transgress you in your life, or you is actually oppressing others. Sawa'un 'ala nafsi aw 'ala ma dunaha. Either it is upon the life itself or upon anything lesser than the life. Means that you cannot do harm to others. Either it is actually concerning life, that is the most precious, or his pride, or also upon his wealth. All of it is actually forbidden in Islam. Like being said by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him, in Hajjatul Wada, the last, the farewell Hajj done by the Prophet. He said, al-Muslim ala Muslim haram. Muslim upon other Muslim is actually forbidden. You cannot touch others. Damuhu wa maluhu wa irduhu. His blood means his life, or anything concerning his body. Maluhu, his wealth, his possession. Wa irduhu, and also his dignity. His dignity. You cannot ever touch that. Because Muslim upon Muslim is haram. Not because you have the position, you can do anything to others. In Islam, it is actually forbid. وهذه القاعدة القرآنية العظيمة جاءت بعد قوله تعالى, and this great Quranic rule came after the saying of Allah in Surah Al-Baqarah. In Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 178. 178, Allah Ta'ala said in Surah Al-Baqarah 178. Allah Ta'ala said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Oh, you have believed. Oh, people have, all of you who have believed. Kutiba alaykumul qisasu fil qatla. It's been prescribed for you the legal retribution for those who being murdered. Al-hurru bil-hurri. A free person means that a non-servant person, bil-hurri, with the other free person. Wal-abdu bil-abdi. A slave with a slave. Means that must be taken off. Wal-untha bil-untha, and also female with female. Faman ufiya lahu min akhihi shay'un. If ever, whoever being overlooked from his brother, means that the other person, the family, the guardian of the person being murdered, overlook whatever happened. They give forgiveness to the killer. Fattiba'un bil ma'ruf. Then they should be suitable follow up. Wa ada'u ilahi bi ihsan. Then the killer, the one who killed, being forgiven for his kill, must pay give a payment to him in good conduct. It's actually because life is so precious. In our law, that is not from Allah. When you kill somebody, then the court will either put in the jail. You will get 3 times food in a day. You get all the benefit of health and everything. But the victim's family will not get anything. Not get anything. That is in civil law, because they said that anybody do any crime upon others, the crime is actually being done to the society. So all the payment, all the punishment is being done by the society, for the sake of society. But in Islam, when you kill somebody, the one who is actually having all the loss from because the person died is actually the family. The family. That's why whoever kill anybody else, anybody, and being forgiven in Islam, the murderer must pay to the family equivalent to 100 camel, or to give a camel 100 camel as a token for the loss of the family. 100 camel. That's actually, if you convert it to ringgit Malaysia, is around 500,000. So the family will get the compensation from the killer. Not just like that. So because anything happened by a person being killed, so the family will lose the income for the family. Maybe the person is actually the breadwinner for the house. So he's being killed. So the payment for the house, the car and everything will be stopped. So compensation from the murderer is being said here. Because he said here, payment to him with good conduct. Wa'adam ilahi bi ihsan. And Allah Ta'ala said, when Allah Ta'ala give that permission for not the person, if the family forgive the killer, then the killer can continue living, but still have to pay the compensation to the family. This is actually being given by Allah, this rule. Allah Ta'ala said, ذَلِكَ تَخْفِيفٌ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَرَحْمَةٌ. This is actually elevation from your Lord and mercy from your Lord. فَمَنْ اعْتَدَى بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ فَلَهُ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. And whoever transgress after that will have the painful punishment. Means that after the payment being done, the family that accept the payment or the compensation must not do any harm to the murderer. Nobody can do anything. Maybe the father said, I accept, I forgive you. We did saw this in the court in USA, when the family, a father, origin from Thailand, he forgave the murderer of his son. He said, I know Satan came to you and you don't understand. Then I forgive you, my son. He said, he forgive the person. So in Islam, when the family forgive the murderer, then the murderer will not be killed. Will not be killed. But if the family doesn't forgive him, then the murderer must be killed by the law, must be killed by the government. The murderer must be killed. The killer must be killed. Cannot be left like that. And Allah Ta'ala said after that ayah, that is actually our rule today, وَلَكُمْ فِي الْقِصَاصِ حَيَاتٌ. And for you, in the legal retribution, there is life. There is life. Ya ulil albab, O people of understanding, la'allakum tattaqun, may you become righteous, so that you will understand that all of it will make you be careful about whatever action you take. Because sometimes we don't think about whatever we do. we just mad about people doing something to us, then suddenly the thing escalate until a murder happened. Because you are angry towards others, but you didn't think about the punishment by Allah. So that's why whenever believers or the pious person being called in Islam, they always think about something, the consequences, what they will do. Things that sometimes when we have the class of payment or compensation for you to harm others, if you broke or you make a person lost his finger, this one finger will be equivalent to 10 camel. 10 camel. If a camel right now is around 4,000, then you have to pay 40,000 to that person. 2 finger, 80,000. 3 finger, 120,000. You have to pay because you made the person lost his capability. So in Islam, it's not just you become a strong person, you break anybody, then it will let go like that. Even though, if the court release you, and you know that you actually doing that transgression or oppression upon others because you learn the martial art and you know how to hit other people, when you hit others and you broke anything from his body, then you actually, in the sense of in the sight of Allah, you actually will be asked in the last day. That's why when we read the hadith of the Prophet, one of the hadith of the Prophet, peace be upon him, the Prophet said about something when he asked about to his companion, who are a bankrupt person among you? Who are a bankrupt person among you? Then the companion said, O Messenger of Allah, Allahu alam, Allah is all knowing, we don't know, but a bankrupt person among us is a person who doesn't have malahu wala mata, doesn't have any possession, doesn't have anything. Then he is actually bankrupt, because all of the bankrupt person is the person that all his possession being sold or being auctioned by the court to pay all the debtors that give him debt. Means that he doesn't pay his debt, so the court will give an order for him to his possession to be sold, so that those who give debt to him will get back their money. So that is the thing that being said by the companion, a person that is bankrupt among us, whoever doesn't have anything, doesn't have any silver coin, doesn't have anything. The Prophet said, Innal muflisa min ummati, those who are bankrupt from among my people, my follower, are those who alladhi ya'ti yawm al-qiyamah, who those who will come in the last day, bi salatin wa zakatin wa hajjin wa sadaqah. The person will come with the prayer, the fasting, the hajj, and all the sadaqah, all the charity. But waqad shatama hadha, but at the same time he already say bad thing about a person. Wa daraba hadha, he hit the other person. Wa safaka dama hadha, he make another person bled, either kill or make a person become actually bled away from his body, his head or everything. So or akala mala hada, or he ate the property of the other person. Fayukhadhu min hasanatihi, then it will be taken from his good deeds that he bring with him in the last day, will be taken from that to be distributed to those who he being transgressed or oppressed when he was in this world. And if his good deeds all gone away, being given to all and other people, But at the same time, there are still people complaining about him. One, they are right because he hit he hit them, or talk bad about them, or anything, eat their belonging. Then those people's sin will be thrown to him. How much we don't know. How much the sin will be given, equivalent to what the sin being done, then be thrown to him, and after that he will thrown into the hellfire. What are you? Do you want to ask something? No, actually, if a non-Muslim hit a Muslim person, then there's no, we say, there's no, what you say, accountability for them, because those people who are not believers, the Prophet ﷺ said in the beginning, after everybody being brought up from their grave, the first saying being said to them, Man kana ya'budu syai'an falyattabi'hu. Whoever worship anything, then follow whatever they worship. Whoever worship the sun, they will follow the sun and go into the hell. Whoever worship cow, then they follow the cow and go into the hell. So no, we say, question and answer. There's no accountability for them for whatever they did. Just go to the hell, one-way ticket to the hell. But what will be given to the believers that being oppressed by the non-believers, they will not be questioned like that. That we said about, the Prophet said, the bankrupt among my people. Because the Muslim or the believers, they will be asked by Allah for everything that we done by them, and they will be weighing about their good deeds. Because the non-believers will go to the hell directly, no question. So for the believers, what will happen to them? If the oppressor is non-believer, then the goodness of the believers will be expanded. He will get reward for whatever he lost in this world. If we taken by the non-believers. If being done by another believers, then the bankrupt story will come. So all the oppressor, the believers, the oppressor, not the oppressed one, the oppressor, the transgressor, whatever he have will be given to those who being oppressed by him. But how much I don't know. We only know that the thing that is the currency will be in the last day. So nobody can get anything more than he should. You cannot bring your money, but your deeds, your prayer, your fasting, your charity, your good words, your recitation of Al-Quran, your saying of the adhkar, all the tasbih that you mention, all the takbir that you utter, all of it become something there. So that thing will be given to whoever you oppress in this world. Will be given to them. Then after that, if there's no more goodness with you, then the badness or the sin from those people who are still wanting their right from you, justice from you, will taken from them the sin, and you'll be thrown into the hell. That's the differences. If the oppressor is non-believers, then Allah will make another type of reward for the person. About non-believers, if a believers being unjust to the believers, then the goodness that he have will be reduced. Even though the non-believers already going to the hell. But whatever you did to others, even to the animals, will be accounted by Allah. Will be accounted by Allah. All other things will be accounted. So sometimes when we learn this type of knowledge, it will make us pious. That's what Allah said, la'allakum tattaqun, may you all, because of the rule of qisas, the legal retribution, you will always be a pious person, a person that always have the feeling, the surveillance of Allah upon him. So that everything you want to say, you want to do, you always think back. Because Allah Ta'ala, yes, like we said before, give time. Sometimes stall the punishment for you. He's stalling the punishment, but never ever he will let it go away. You will always find out whatever you did in this world in the last day. Like being said in the ending of the surah Az-Zalzalah. فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ. Whoever do good deeds, even though it's actually the weight of the good deeds is just like uh, uh, like like a small ant that really small. Even if the small is walking on your body, you didn't realize it. That is actually dharrah. The meaning of dharrah, first meaning, is actually a small ant that moving on your body, small red ant that moving on your body, that you didn't realize it. That is the way. If that, the good deeds that you are doing is the way of that ant, or the way of any speck of dust. Because when you hit the table or any place, or your pillow, you can see if the sun ray coming into your room, you can see there's something there. Even if the thing is equivalent to that, yarah, he will see that thing, that thing that he did in this world. وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. And whoever did a bad deeds in this world, even though it is on the way of that small ant or a speck of dust, yarah, he will see it back. So because of that, when we take care of our action, it's really about, because believing the warning by Allah. The warning by Allah. That is why we are carefully going into this world like a person that is moving in a thorny road. A road that essentially have a thorn all side. So when you are walking, you are actually really careful to whatever the place you put your foot onto, or your hand, because you afraid about the thorn will hurt you. It's actually being said by one of the poet of Arabs. He said, "Kuffat dhunuba saghiraha wa kabiraha dhakat tuqa." Stop all the sin, either it is small or big. Dhakat tuqa, that is piety. That is the piety. Wasna kamashin fawqal ardi shawki yahdal ma yara. And make as if you are a person who walking on a thorny road that have every side of the road have thorn. On the road have a thorn that can hurt you. Wasna kamashin fawqal ardi shawki yahdal ma yara. That the person will always careful with whatever he look away. La takiranna saghiratan. Don't ever you think small about small matter. You say that it's small matter. I don't think Allah Ta'ala will account me for this. Allah Ta'ala will not ask me. You don't ever say something like that. Innal jibala minal hasa. Because the big mountain, rocky mountain, is actually from a small pebble. The starting is a small pebble. A big one, that is the ending. So don't ever think that you can do anything and Allah Ta'ala will let you go away. Just like that. The accountability is the thing that making us pious. He said here, Summa qala ta'ala. Then after Allah Ta'ala said, explaining this great rule, fi babil janayat, in the topic of crime and criminal. Allah Ta'ala said, walakum fil qisasi hayatun. And for you, inside the legal retribution. Always said legal retribution. It's not retribution being done by you, by yourself. A person hit you and you run, go after him and hit him back. No, it's not like that. Defending is another person, another topic. But when a person, we say, hit your brother, a person hit your brother. So you go to the school and you want to hit the person back. That is actually retribution. But that is not legal. The legal one is actually whatever being turned into the court. By the court order will be done. Either it's actually a killing or any damage being done to you or your properties must be taken to the court, not by yourself. Walakum fil qisasi hayatun, and for you in the qisas, in the legal retribution, hayatun, there is life. Ya ulil albab, all of you who have right or sound mind. La'allakum tattaqun, so that you all be pious, have piety. Walana ma'ahadil qa'idatil Qur'aniyyati muhkamah waqafat. And for us, with this Quranic rule, we have few things that we can or we must look into. We must carefully look into, because the segment of this rule, if you read it carefully, you can get many benefit from it. Al-waqfatul ula, first looking into the first stage. Waqfatul ula, first looking or first thinking about this rule. Inna man ta'ammala fi waqi'i biladin bid dunya umuman, that very indeed whoever carefully look into the reality of what happening in all the nation of the world, generally, umuman, muslimaha wa kafiraha, either is a Muslim country or a non-Muslim country, kafir country. Fasayajidu qillatal qatli fil biladil lati yuqtalu fiha al-qatilu. He will find out lesser murder happen in the country that the murderer being killed. Any country that implement the killing of the murderer, you kill the murderer, then the murder inside that country become lesser. Kama asyara ila dhalika al-alamatu Shankiti rahimahullah, as being pointed out. It is pointed out by the scholar, the eminent scholar Ashankiti, Muhammad Amin Ashankiti rahimahullah. He is actually from Mauritania. He reside in Medina and become teacher there. He is one of the most prominent scholars in the 50s. During the 50s, not the 80s, the 50s, he is actually one of the prominent scholars there. One of these most known work is actually the Adwa'ul Bayan, that he explaining the Quran with the Quran, explain Quran with the Quran. Tafsir Adwa'ul Bayan, the explanation of the Quran being written by him. So he said, وَعَلَّلَ ذَلِكَ بِقَوْلِهِ, and he reasoned by his words. Why does the country or nation that kill the murderer, the murder inside that country become lesser? Why? He said, لِأَنَّ الْقِصَاصَ رَادِعٌ عَنْ جَرِيمَةِ الْقَتْلِ, because the qisas, legal retribution by the government, is actually a prevention, radi'un, it become prevention for the murder crime, Kama dzakarahu Allah fil ayatil madhkurati anifa, as being said by Allah in the ayah that mentioned just now. Walakum fil qisasi hayatun, and for you inside the qisas, inside the legal retribution, hayatun, there is life. He said, and now he want to answer what being said by the enemy of Islam. Wama yaz'amuhu a'da'ul Islam, and whatever being claimed by the enemy of Islam, Annal qisasu ghairu mutabiqin lil hikmati, that the legal retribution to kill the killer is actually the opposite, or not harmonious with the wisdom. They say it's not with the wisdom, because the idea is a person being killed. We have 10%. So one of the person kill the other person. So the community there become lesser by one life. And when you kill that person, so the life inside the society become lesser. So they use that logic. لأن فيه إقلال عدد مجتمعي, because when you kill the murderer, you actually reducing the number of the society. That is the idea. Okay? Because by killing a second person, بعد أن مات الأول, after the first one died, you kill another one. So if you have 10 people inside your society, one being murdered by the murderer, you kill the murderer, see, then the society become lesser. That is their argument. وأنه ينبغي أن يعاقب بغير القتل, and the person should be punished with other than being killed. فيحبس, then he will be prison. وقد يولد له في الحبس, and maybe he can beget a son or daughter when he inside the prison. This is being done by the Western society, that they gave the prisoners the right to have sexual intercourse with their family, or their wife, or their girlfriend, making that essentially they can get good numbers of people. Actually, because when we think about it, yes, we agree that the number of people in the society is really important, because that is the what you say, the power or the strength, the real strength of the society. If the society is reduced in numbers, then the energy, the strength that they have will be reduced, and they cannot develop their own country. They must get workers from outside, because the number of their people is lesser. That is actually logic. But when they are saying, if you kill the murderer, then the killer, you kill the killer, then the number will be reduced. That is actually the opposite of wisdom. And the murderer, if you imprison them and give them the right to have sexual intercourse, the society numbers can be increased. That is the idea. فَيَزِيدُ الْمُجْتَمَعُ, and then the society's number will become increased. كُلُّهُ كَلَامٌ سَاكِتٌ. Sheikh Ashankiti said, all of it is actually, he said, in the Arabic terms, kalam farid, words that doesn't have any weight, nonsense. That is actually nonsense. Why? Arim hikmati, and also when you let the prisoner, the killer, to become a prisoner and having life, that is actually the opposite of wisdom. لأن الحبس, because imprisonment, لا يردع الناس عن القتل, will not ever stop people from murdering others. People are not afraid to murder others, because when you stay inside the prison, you don't have the freedom to do anything with your life. Your life always inside the prison, inside the cell. You can only eat whatever been given to you. You can only go out when they give the permission for you, but inside the prison. So some people say that this is a loss. Actually, it's not a loss for them, because the criminal, some of them, they like to enter into the prison because the food that they can have 3 times a day, they can have the food. They have their own entertainment, all the equipment, gym equipment will given to them. They enter the prison their body is like this. They get out from prison, their body is like that. Because they keep pumping the iron. And in the end, they become more healthy and more strength to do any crime after that, after getting out from the prison. It's actually the opposite what you want them to have. Because you don't want them to become more aggressive and more violent. But you give them everything inside the prison, even they have the benefit of medical benefit. If anything happened to them inside the prison, or they are sick, they will be sent to the hospital and given all the treatment on the cost by the government, not by their family, by the government. All of it, expenses will be covered. But that is actually the opposite of what you say wisdom. Because when the person think about that, I will not be killed. 5 years inside the prison, 6 years, 7 years. After that, I get out and have a new life, or do anything else I want. Then that is actually will not stop him from killing others. After that, فَإِذَا لَمْ تَكُنِ الْعُقُوبَةُ رَادِعًا, and if the punishment is not stopping the murderer or the killer, not stopping them from killing others, فَإِنَّ السُّفَهَاءَ يَكْثُرُ مِنْهُمُ الْقَتْلُ, then the idiots, those people who doesn't have sound mind, the murder will become increased in their place. That is the thing. فَيَتَضَاعَفُ نَقْصُ الْمُجْتَمَعِ بِكَثْرَةِ الْقَتْلِ, then the number of the society become reduced more because of the killing being done by the killer. So because they said that I will not be killed, so I'm not afraid of being caught. And they will say my lawyer can get me out. That is the thing today. If you see that the lawyers, most of them is actually non-believers, they actually always try to give reason for the murderer to not be accounted with their crime. The simple thing that they did is actually saying that the murderer is insane. The person is insane, crazy. Then the court will not kill a crazy person. Then the person will be sent to the rehabilitation or the crazy ward for a few years. And after being evaluated by a doctor saying that the person have become normal again, then he will be released into the society. He will not be accounted with the murder that he did. That is the way right now. All the lawyers are using that card, insanity card. Why this woman? This happened in Penang. She went back from birthday party, and when she came back, she actually going the opposite way of the traffic, go against the traffic flow, and she hit a person, a man, and the person died. That man died. The man is actually his wife is actually in pregnancy, 6 months in pregnancy. He died just because this girl actually hit him, and they cannot say anything because actually she went back drunk, influenced by drugs and alcohol, because coming back from the party. So the lawyers quickly produced for the girl an OKU card, incapable person card, saying that this girl, yes, she go against the traffic, yes, she did took the drugs or the alcohol. Her mind is essentially not really sound when she was driving, but she have the OKU card. So we hope that the court will release her because she's not capable of thinking. She can kill anybody, but this is the way that being done right now in the Western country and now coming to our society. Everybody has the okay you cut, the card saying that you are incapable person, then you can do anything. Same like what happened recently about a woman that insult Islam or insult herself by taking off, saying that she memorized the Quran. Also being produced by the lawyers and okay you cut. Everybody is having okay you cut. Because a sound person must be prosecuted by the court, the court of law. But if you are crazy person, then you cannot be persecuted. Can be released, sent to a rehabilitation place, center for a few years, and after that you can go out and have a happy life after that. There's a problem there. Our society now is actually all the lawyers, most of them are trying to get the rights of the murderer, the right of the drug trafficker, the right of the criminals. They don't ever want to get the right for the victims. The victims don't get anything. In our society right now, by our law, civil law, the victims, the family of the victims will get nothing actually, unless the case is so high profile, being mentioned inside the newspaper daily, and people become angry with the topic. Then there's will be compensation secretly for the family. If not, then nothing will be taken off. This is because the idea of when a person kill another person, he is actually doing the crime to the society, not to the family. That's why the punishment, the fine will be given to the government, not to the family. In Islam, you actually doing that crime towards all the people, the society, and also that family. And the family is the most in loss. That's why in Islam, the compensation and also the forgiveness will be given only by the family, not by the king, not by the prime minister, not by anybody. Nobody can give, actually we say, the word, not forgiveness, pardon. Nobody will be pardoned from their crime except by the family. If that the thing. If not, then if the crime related to the right of Allah, then nobody can pardon them. Like if a person stealing, caught being stealing, and all the cause for him to his hand to be cut is there. There's three things you have to know. When a person want to be cut off his hand because of stealing, there are three conditions. First one, the thing must be kept in well-kept place. Means that the thief or the one who steal that thing broke into that the other person's house. If ever your shoes is being put on the fence of your house, and anybody steal it, that the one who steal, the thief, will be punished, but the hand cannot be cut. Because to cut the hand, the one who steal that thing must broke into the house or broke into the safe to take the thing that he steal. Secondly, the thing that being stole must be more than a quarter of dinar. 1 dinar is around 4.25 gram of gold. So the value of the things that being stole must be more than quarter of dinar. Means that around 1.025 gram of gold. That is right now, 1 gram of gold is around 250 ringgit. then only your hand can be cut off with the first rule and the second rule. Then your hand can be cut off. Not by the story of stealing chocolate, stealing an egg, stealing an apple, then the person be cut off his hand. This being portrayed by the Hollywood movie makers, like in the Robin Hood, by being played by Kevin Costner. They said that the person will be cut off his hand. Morgan Freeman, stealing an apple or helping a child and in that market. So his hand want to be chopped off by the people in that market. That is not enough to be cut, because like I said, to cut a hand of person, you have the three rules, three conditions. The first one, the thing must be kept inside a safe. Second one, the item stole must be equivalent to a quarter of dinar, means that more than 1 gram of gold. Thirdly, the one who steal, the thief must not be stealing because of hunger. If being proven that he's stealing because of hunger, then only the cutting off the hand will not be done. Right now, when you look into our society, people that go into the safe or the ATM machine with their trucks, taking away, that is not because of hunger. That is because of gluttony or the thing, gluttony, the word is actually, what you say? Tamak. Greedy, because of greed. It's not because of hunger. Then if proven that the person, if the person been proven to steal because of hunger, then the hand will not be chopped off. You not be chopped off the hand. So that's in Islam. For us to implement the law, you have to have that condition. Same like in our terms about the kisos. Same as the kisos. Because when people doesn't care about killing others, then the killing will be more. And also like the stealing also, if people know that the hand, if the condition is enough, is right, all the rules is implemented, then his hand will be chopped. People will be afraid to go and steal the others' property. That is the thing, because it's prevention, and it's proven right now in the Arab country, even in Yemen. When I was in Yemen, people have all of them have their own weapon or gun. Yemen is actually free gun country. You can have, you can buy any weapon, any gun or equivalent or to gun, rifle, without any permission. You don't have to take any permission. Just buy it. It's okay. But we say the crime of using the weapon, the firearm, is actually so less in Yemen. Some people said that people being abducted, the tourists being abducted. That's actually there's funny story there. Funny story that happened in Yemen. That when the tribes people, they abducted the foreign tourists, actually they don't harm them, give foods and everything. They actually taking the tourists as hostage, but giving everything to them because they want to pressure the government to give whatever the things that they need. Because the government doesn't look into them, so they took the tourists to pressure the government. some of the tourists being abducted, after they being released, a few years after that, they came back to the tribes that abducted them, and happily meeting them and laughing about everything. It's not really about oppressing others. Well, we are saying that nobody showing their gun to you, asking for money, even though the gun is with them. Because the implementation of the rules, even if you just raise up your gun, you don't shoot anybody, you raise it to another person, then you'll be fined with a cow. You must pay to the person the whole cow given to him alive. You pay with a cow. It happened to one of our friend, a few of our friend, when they was in some of the region in Yemen. The bus owner actually lift up their weapon, their firearm to them, and being seen by all the people in the market. But nothing happened. Our friend went back to their school, but their school is actually under a big tribe that from that area. So few days after that, the person that raised up his firearm came with a cow to the tahfiz school to pay because he raised up his firearm to others. That's actually to that extent, not shooting, just to actually raising up your firearm to others is actually forbid. It's forbid by the Prophet, but they put into that things a fine. You have to pay the fine. If not, then the tribes can go into war because of that. So all of this is actually related to what we say that the implementation of the law by Allah is actually will making people become safe. Become safe. It's being said actually a few times in a few of international conference, when they are doing a conference about law and crime in society. They have the statistic that the crime in Saudi Arabia for 1 year is equivalent for crime in New York in 1 hour. 1 hour in New York, the crime there is equivalent with Saudi for 1 year. The whole Saudi Arabia for 1 year. The crime there is equivalent the crime for 1 hour in New York City. This is actually what when you say, when you don't implement the rule by Allah, then the society become crumble and will not be in safe hand. Second, looking into this rule or this ayah, he said here, ma'aqawlihi azza wa jalla, with the saying of Allah azza wa jalla, fi hadhihi al-qa'idah al-Qur'aniyyah al-muhkamati, in the rule, the fixed rule of the fixed Quranic rule, this fixed Quranic rule, walakum fil qisasi hayatun ya ulil albab, and for you in the qisas there is life. He said here, dhalika, that is because annal hayata a'zu shay'in 'ala al-insani fil jibillati, that life is the most precious for a human being by nature. By nature, if you think back, life is so precious. فَلَا تُعَادِلُوا عُقُوبَةَ الْقَتْلِ فِي الرَّدْعِ وَالْإِنْزِجَارِ. Then it's actually فَلَا تُعَادِلُوا, it's not equivalent. Even though you are using that, because the life gone, you cannot take it back. You cannot get it back. فَلَا تُعَادِلُوا عُقُوبَةَ الْقَتْلِ, then it's actually not really equivalent. The punishment of killing fi rad'i wal inzijar, to stop and to prevent the thing from happening. Because it's actually so, because the life is so precious. وَمِنْ حِكْمَةِ ذَلِكَ, and among the wisdom of that, تَطْمِينِ الْأَوْلِيَاءِ الْقَتْلَى, is to comfort, to ensure, to be assurance, to give assurance to the guardian of those people being killed, being murdered. بِأَنَّ الْقَضَاءَ يَنْتَقِمُ لَهُمْ, that the court or the law is actually will retribute for them. مِمَّنْ اعْتَدَى عَلَى قَتِيلِهِمْ, from those people who actually over exceeding or actually doing oppression upon those people being murdered from them. Qala ta'ala, Allah Ta'ala said in Surah Al-Isra, verse number 33. Verse number 33, Allah Ta'ala said, وَمَنْ قُتِلَ مَظْلُومًا, whoever been killed unjustly being killed, فَقَدْ جَعَلْنَا لِوَلِيهِ سُلْطَانًا, then we making an authority for their guardian. فَلَا يُسْرِفْ فِي الْقَتْلِ, then he will not be wastefully killed. Because if not, then his killing will be wasteful. No, nothing will be done. But Allah Ta'ala said, Allah Ta'ala is giving the authority to his guardian. Innahu kana mansura, he is actually being helped by Allah. Allah Ta'ala is prevailing that, so that assuring that anybody killed, proven, then the killer must be killed. لِأَلَّا يَتَصَدَّى أَوْلِيَاءُ الْقَتِيلِ لِلْإِنْتِقَامِ. Why being done? Why this rule is being done? Because we doesn't want the guardian for the murdered person to go into retribution by themselves. Because if everybody is doing that, right now we are going into that phase. When people that murdering our family is not being killed back by the government, by the law, then some people will go into hiring contract killer to kill the killer that killed their family. Seriously, this is in Western society is a normal practice. In the society, in Western society, is a normal practice. When you are not satisfied with the ruling of the court, then you hire a contract killer. That's essentially a contract killer there to kill the person that murdered your family. We doesn't want something to happen like that. That's why the government must do it for us to stop people from taking matter into their own hand. Because if this happen, then we will not have a good and sound society. Everybody is actually afraid to go anywhere because somebody will maybe looking to want to kill him because of whatever being done by him before. So, لِأَنَّ ذَلِكَ يُفْضِي إِلَى سُورَةِ الْحَرْبِ, because that will will be bringing into a picture, a situation of war baina rahtain, between the two family, the family of the murderer and the family of the killer. Because the family of the killer also will not be satisfied if the killer being killed. The family will not be satisfied. They will be, the retribution will be done by them. So from both sides, we start war. فَيَكْثُرُ فِيهِ إِتْلَافُ الْأَنفُسِ, then the destruction of the soul will become more after that. He said here, Wallahu alam. I think we stop here today because this rule, this walakum fil qisasi hayatun ya ulil albab, is actually really matters for us these days, especially when the court of Malaysia being given by the parliament, that the judge should not use the mandatory rule that the killer must be killed. That is not they will not do something like that right now anymore. So the possibility of the killer is not killed, just be in prison and having a good life inside the prison, will actually coming to us right now. So may Allah Ta'ala protect us from those who actually doesn't think carefully for whatever they do, just to make sure that the international society become pleased with whatever happened with us. They actually want to control us in our own society. May Allah Ta'ala protect us from all of the other thing. Wallahu alam. There's no question. Alhamdulillah. So we stop here. Inshallah we'll continue, because like I said, this rule is really important for us to go through part after part, because he given here around 5. So we took 2 from the rule. What we can learn about that. Wallahu alam. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa sallam. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.